Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
I have a friend who went from being this to doing this. Now, he was a cop.
Now he's a stripper?
No, he's actually a DJ at an adult dance show place in Vegas.
Did he have a breakdown?
No.
Okay.
He decided that wasn't for him anymore.
Yeah. That's a pretty heavy life to be a cop.
Now, I don't know, I'm not going to, justify is not the right word. Let me break this down. He started really young. He was in his 20s. I met him when we moved here, and he got married, had a couple of kids, divorced.
Okay.
She's got the kids. He wants a different life. Moved to Vegas and is now working. So he's the host/DJ at a strip club now.
What an amazing life to be a man like that, where you can just like say, I just want a totally different life and I don't want to be in my kid's life at all. That's crazy.
I'm going to respectfully say that he was either on the edge or had what a lot of people would consider a breakdown. Okay. Like, life took a couple of weird turns for him.
Yeah.
And he was really rock bottom and said, I got to get out of here. This isn't the life I want to lead anymore. And I also don't know if he had that, like, I never heard him talk about that bond that you hear a lot of cops have with other cops. You know what I mean? Like, it was never, he never kind of shared that brother or sister mentality. And so I think it was pretty easy for him to dump being a cop. But what I was really surprised is that he moved away from what was his family. Like, he's not going to see his girls anymore. And now he's a DJ at a strip club in Vegas. He says he loves it. He loves the lifestyle. Gets to sleep all day, goes to work at 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Who wouldn't love that?
Well, and I don't think it's about the nudies. You know what I mean? I think it's that it's not. So now he's in his mid-30s, right? Or maybe even early 40s. And he doesn't have any responsibilities. I think that's what he loves. He's got a 1-bedroom apartment down, I don't know, 8-10 blocks away from work. He gets to walk to work to a strip club, party till 3 or 4 in the morning, and then go home. And he makes crazy tips. He said he makes 3 times more than he made as a cop.
Okay, money's fine, and I'm glad he got out of law enforcement. When you get to that point, you're almost a hazard to everyone around you.
Yeah.
But I just don't get the leaving your kids. Like,
so it's a big 180. I mean, he went from being a cop, father of 2, married guy, within a year to being a strip club DJ on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
That's for me, when I was thinking about it, was the biggest career 180 I've ever seen. Now, I know a lot of people that used to be in radio and went to sell cars. Mm-hmm. And I think there was a natural transition there because, well, you're good with people, right? You're good at, and we've done so many gigs at car dealerships on the weekends that we know more about the cars than like half the salespeople do, right? So what I was looking for today, and I'm hoping you can call real quick, what was the career 180 you took? All right? Like, you went from one career to something completely different. What would be the biggest 180 you could make? If you got off the radio right now, what would be the exact opposite of this?
I always talk about how I would love to go and just feed animals at the zoo every single day.
Yeah,
I would bring them their meat, their hay, their cornmeal, all that stuff.
So you go from being a high-rated morning show host to feeding monkeys.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That would be pretty good.
That would be so fun. They are always excited to see you because you have the goods. Bring lettuce to the big turtles that have been around for 200 years.
I always think, I was pre-law. What if I'd go back to law school and end up being a lawyer? Now, I have a friend named Jay that did this. He was an afternoon drive disc jockey in Duluth, Minnesota, and went back to law school and is now a lawyer.
Wow.
He has his own practice.
I feel like it would be the other way around. You'd be a lawyer, you need a brain break, you become a DJ. But Amy, you need to call. This is really interesting. I'd love to hear how you got to where you are after 20 years of doing what you were doing. Lisa had texted, I farm after being a massage therapist for almost 20 years. I met my husband 5 years ago, and he wanted me to join the family dairy business, so I did.
Jeff was a teacher for 4 years. Now he's a bartender, and he likes that life a whole lot more. So if you did a career 180, what was yours?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you all?
Good. Thanks for being on the show. We were talking about my friend who went from being a cop, like a street cop. He was pulling people over, giving speeding tickets. He was a first responder, so if Grandpa fell down the stairs or whatever, he was there first, and just gave up the life to be a strip club DJ. And it made us start talking about, like, have you ever done a complete 180 with your career? Kat had thought, well, if I get off, being on the morning show and on the radio, and I started feeding monkeys, that would be like a pretty decent 180. And
I would love that.
You pulled one of these. What did you used to do?
So I was a county social worker, kind of specializing in children's mental health and child protection at one point.
And obviously it
was real.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to say you're doing great work for people that really, really needed you.
Yes, and it was a tough career, but I loved it. And then it just got to a point where family systems got a little more complicated, external issues in the world, whatever. And I felt like I spent more time in a courtroom defending my actions than I did helping people. And I also felt like sometimes you have to think outside of the box, and sometimes our systems just aren't set up to do that. And so resources were fairly limited. And, when you're seeing multi-generational families coming through where you've dealt with maybe 3 generations or something, you stop and think, okay, what are we doing here? Yeah. And I think I really miss the work. I would be remiss in saying if I didn't. And I do miss the families and the kiddos that I worked with. And I had the opportunity when I was in that position to work in several different environments. And I just got to a point where I started recognizing I feel sick every time I go to work. Every time I was on that drive to work, I started getting that pit in my stomach. And I had always had this huge interest in travel, and I had helped some family and friends just on the side with wedding planning. And so I had a friend who was in the travel business and working with destination weddings, and she kind of said, hey, why don't you just come shadow me? Why don't you hang out, see what I'm doing? And that's kind of where it started. And for about a year, I made that transition and did both jobs because, you're giving up a career, essentially, that you went to school for, that you've trained for, and that's a pretty scary thing.
Yeah,
but
the job
I think
you did
do
prior,
have to recognize.
You definitely took it home with you. And that's what cops do as well. And that's what doctors do as well. When you have maybe a patient that is going to go home and be abused after you see them. And I could not imagine the weight of the world that you had. And now you switched it up, and now you have kind of like a lighter feel to the world. How
much happier are you right now, Amy?
Let's take COVID out of that because that affected travel a lot. But honestly, much better. I work primarily from home, but I get to travel a lot. And honestly, I use a lot of my social work skills with my couples.
A lot of people don't realize that when they leave a career and go to another one, that a lot of the skills they've developed really do transfer. You're not just really dialed into one thing.
That is correct. So, I get to see the world. I travel a lot. I have flexibility with my job. I can kind of control how much I'm going to take on and how much I'm not going to take on. And, there's been times where I've thought, God, was this a mistake? I belong here. Because I recognize not everybody can be a physician or a nurse or, in those roles. And so I did it, and I was like, I was okay with it. But then I was like, no, every time I thought about maybe I should, go back to it, I've had a break. But I'm like, no, honestly, I'm happier. I make way more money.
Yeah.
I'm controlling things a little bit more outside of, obviously, things that impact travel. But
I'm glad you made the switch for your spirit. So, yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Me too. Absolutely.
Thank you for coming on the show. This is a breath of fresh air. I'm glad that you get extra time with our friends.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Radio Paparazzi.
So Johnny Depp, he took to the stand in his defamation trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard and denied her claims of abuse.
Since I knew that there was no truth to it whatsoever, I felt it my responsibility to stand up not only for myself in that instance, but stand up for my children. Never did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman.
It's weird to think of him as Willy Wonka at that point, right?
It is, but I still I am a strong believer of evidence and innocent until proven guilty. And it's not that I don't believe her at all. It's not that I don't believe him. I just think the courts will work itself out. All right. So in a preview of an upcoming interview, Prince Harry actually did a surprise drop-in, visited his grandmother, Queen Mum, Queen Elizabeth. How did it go?
It was great. It was just so nice to see her. You know, she's on great form. She's always got a great sense of humour with me, and I'm just making sure that she's, protected and got the right people around.
Well, you make her laugh. That's what she always says. Did you do it again?
Yes, I did. Both Megan and I had tea with her, so it was really nice to catch up with her.
Okay, so we'll see how the rest of her life goes. She turns 96 tomorrow, by the way.
The Queen Mum.
Yes. That is a long reign.
The Queen Mum was her mom.
Well.
She's the queen.
Well, she's the Queen Mum to Charles. So she is essentially.
I meant grandmother.
No, Queen Mum.
Whatever.
Anyway, so Prince Harry and Prince William, actually, they hired a mediator to mend their relationship. So we'll see if they start movements with that. It's just like life is too short. They have 5 kids between the two of them. And, it's just, I know they have a different situation going on, but it's still family. All right, T-Pain, he is not understanding what's going on in Dallas. They have the lowest percentage of advance tickets sold at 26%. He's like, come on, Dallas, I want to be
What did I do? Let me know what I did. Y'all don't f me, bro? What's going on? I wore cowboy hats many times. I used to raise horses. I feel like I'm part of the city. I've worn a cowboy hat or two. You know what I'm saying?
T-Pain. Buy the T-Pain tickets, guys.
You know what? The more I saw of T-Pain and heard of him, I like him a lot. I like his songs where he doesn't sound like himself, but he has an amazing singing voice, by the way.
He's a funny guy.
And he was on The Haunting of T-Pain on the Travel Channel, and they went to his house, and his house was like legit haunted.
I saw him on an episode of Bar Rescue once, too.
You
It's pretty
did?
fun, yeah.
Okay. Blowing out their candles today, we have model Miranda Kerr turning 39. Whoa. Joey Lawrence is 46, and Jessica Lange, who's actually from Stillwater, is 73 today.
It's Secret Sound Time with St. Cloud Toyota and 104.7 KCLD.
Answered the phone a couple of seconds ago and said, oh my God, you're number 10.
No way.
Way!
Yay!
What's your name?
I'm Emily.
Emily, how confident are you in winning $2,800 right now? From 1 to 10, 1 being I have no idea, 10 being I'm absolutely sure.
Saying like a 9.5.
Now, that was about 2 minutes left in that previous song. Emily, you've had a chance to sit for 2.5 minutes. Where's your confidence now?
I'm still holding strong.
9.5.
It's like nobody can be perfect, but you can be pretty close to perfect.
Now, we started
Right.
the Secret Sound on Monday, the brand new one. How far into it? There were a couple of guesses Monday, a couple of guesses yesterday. Of course, you get our first guess today. When did you get to that 9.5 confidence range? Was it Monday, Tuesday, or this morning?
Not gonna lie, your Snapchat story helped me out a lot this morning.
I like to hear that.
All right, so before we get your guess, let's hear it one more time because a lot of people say it sounds different over the air than it does on the phone. So here again is our $2,800 Secret Sound, Emily. Now, thanks to our friends at St. Cloud Toyota, I get to ask you, what is the secret sound?
I think it is opening a bag of sunflower seeds and pouring some out.
Okay.
Emily, for $2,800, believes that this is opening a bag of sunflower seeds and pouring them out.
You follow us on Snapchat. Is this the first day that you followed us on Snap?
Oh, no, long-time follower.
Oh, good.
Long-time follower, first-time caller for the Secret Sound. Now, what do you do with $2,800, by the way? I've never won this kind of money. If you win it right now, what's the first thing you do?
Probably some boring stuff like pay off bills, but then probably do a little shopping for myself.
Love
afterwards.
I like that.
Good.
Gentlemen, Emily believes the Secret Sound is opening a bag of sunflower seeds and pouring them out. The jackpot, thanks to St. Cloud Toyota, is at $2,800. Is she a winner?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes!
You won $2,800.
That is absolutely right. All right. We got it. Congratulations, Emily.
Nice. You got a fat wallet, girl. I want you to go get a new summer wardrobe, pay off some bills, have some fun. Good job checking Snapchat, and you won. You won
$2,800.
You win.
So weird.
Weird stuff. Everybody called me weird. I am weird.
You don't think this is a little weird?
No, I don't think it's weird at all.
Weird news.
This is weird and unjustified. 29-year-old Rule Me Chase says her Miami landlord found out that she was on OnlyFans, so he raised her rent from $2,300 to $4,800.
It's humiliating to have people judge you for something that when you feel like what you're doing isn't wrong, in a sense. I don't think that my job and what I do privately that has no regards to anybody else in anybody else's world besides my own.
So get this right. If I read this right, this guy went into her. He had heard that maybe she was doing this.
Saw it on Instagram.
Had to go into her apartment to fix something.
Yeah.
Noticed she had the setup for her OnlyFans and her Instagram. Realized she was on there and then doubled her rent.
Yeah. So guess who's probably going to own that Miami complex?
I hope so.
Pretty soon. And that is what's weird. So I saw this on my Snapchat, and then I had to look up the actual footage of an interview that Tucker Carlson was doing about men and how they're just not masculine anymore.
Fox News host Tucker Carlson previewed a new episode for Fox's streaming service where he expressed concern that, among other things, testosterone levels among men were declining, and interviewed a guest who proposed an interesting solution.
If you want to optimize and take it to another level, expose yourself to red light therapy.
Yes.
And the Juve that we were using in the documentary, there's a massive amount
Which
of
is testicle tanning.
It's testicle tanning, but it's also full body red light therapy, which has massive amount of benefits. And there's so much data out there that isn't being picked up on or covered.
So obviously half the viewers right now are like, what? That's testicle tanning? That's crazy. But my view is, okay, testosterone levels crash and nobody says anything about it. That's crazy. So why is it crazy to seek solutions?
Which, whatever. If you want to find solutions to what you find is an issue.
T-shot from your doctor at that point?
You can. And then I see commercials with that old football player, now you take that
Doug
powder
Flutie
and you his wife is super satisfied. But then it goes on to show all these half naked men. They're shirtless and they have they're milking cows and shooting rifles and chopping wood and wrestling each other. And their pursuit is masculinity. And they're like, I am sick of being made to feel like I am not manly enough. Some people do say that masculinity has died a little bit. I feel like you're a pretty manly man, head of your household.
I'm a guy.
You're by your Traeger all the time.
No, by no means am I the head of the household. Here's what makes me a manly man. I know where to put which fight to put my dog in.
Okay.
When it comes to pretty much anything, I just go, yes, dear.
Yeah.
That's what makes me a manly man. I know where my bread is buttered, and I just say, yes, dear. Now, when it comes to changing the oil in one of the cars, yes, dear, I'll take care of that. When it comes to fixing the deck, you want me to do it, Trish? I'll do it.
And you do.
And I'm okay with that, but I only do what I'm told. I don't get outside of my bubble. I wait until I'm given orders. I don't get too far into the, hey, you know what is a good idea realm? I just do what I'm told, and I'm living a happy idiot life, and I'm happy.
If you had to name the top 3 things that would qualify someone as manly, what do you think it would be?
For me, I drive a truck.
Okay.
I can lay down some hardwood floors.
Yes, you can.
And I try and get a workout in every day.
Okay.
That's what makes me feel manly.
To grow the swole.
I got some DIY projects. I drive a truck. And I try and get in a workout every day. I feel really a lot more manly after I sweat.
So I'm going to say what I consider manly. You grow a really nice beard.
I can't do it. It gets too itchy. I don't have the patience either.
Derek grew a pretty nice beard. I like it. Hold doors for everybody.
Oh, okay.
And just, I think manners all around show that, to me, you are a prideful man, and then also taking care of things around the house. Some might say, no, that's a woman's job, but Derek is like on it. I never have to remind him to change filters. He fixes the snow machine. What is it called?
The snow blower?
Snow blower.
He's got to fix it?
Well, he has before.
Oh, right on.
And then he comes in all excited, and I'm like, "You're so manly!" And I make a mistake, and then we like,
give me your seed.
Give me your seed now.
Before we get Randy on, why are we talking about this?
We're talking about it because Tucker Carlson, he did this expose on how men are starting to pay attention to their nether regions by like lighting them up with, what is it, a UV light?
Yeah, it's red light therapy. It's supposed to increase your testosterone output. Now, I know friends that have gotten, and I think you get like almost
shot.
like a capsule that gets put in like your hip area, and it slowly releases extra testosterone. Because if you get too much, it's harmful.
Yeah.
Like if you try and buy like a handful of black market testosterone pills or whatever,
for your heart.
it can be bad. It can be bad for your kidneys too. And so I think what a lot of guys get if they've got low testosterone is they'll go into the doctor and they'll get either a shot, or I thought I had a friend that got like almost like a little capsule that was put in like his hip or his buttocks.
Yeah.
And then it slowly released some testosterone.
Did he say it worked? Like what would be the effects of it?
Part of it was he gained weight and was he kept the same diet and workout routine, but he was getting like fatter around the midsection.
Yeah.
And then he said his sex drive was just a lot lower.
This conversation could go both ways. Women aren't as womanly as maybe back in the 1960s, 1950s when our hair and makeup and nails were always done.
You guys gave up. That's so sad.
You catch me on a good day, we might have that going on, but I don't know. It could go both ways. We don't have like super manly men around anymore.
So the big question we've got for you is what makes a man a man? Randy, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I would say fishing, hunting, camping, getting out in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay. Really being
nature.
a man. Is that you? You love to just be out in nature and be a manly man?
I love it. Now, when I say camping, now I'm not talking like RV and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm talking pitching a tent, laying on the ground, no satellites, no air mattress. You know what I mean? That to me is getting one with nature. That's being a man.
Love it. Thank you, Randy. Let's get a girl's vantage point here. Angel, what are your thoughts?
I think we need more manly men.
Yeah, you feel like we don't have enough?
No, this society has become wussified. Absolutely wussified.
Now, what's a manly man for you? Like, what do they have to do to qualify for that?
A manly man, knows how to lift heavy things and fix stuff and use his hands.
Yeah.
And he knows about cars. Creamy, lotiony hands with perfectly manicured nails is a major, major turnoff. Grow your hair. Get some muscles. I mean, seriously. Nobody wants to work with their hands. Nobody wants to swing a hammer. Nobody wants to do any of that stuff. We need more manly men.
Gotcha. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Is that shared consensus amongst the ladies?
I don't think all ladies. No, I think it's nice to have a compassionate man that has, in tune with that side, but also can swing an axe.
I'm just not into arguing anymore. I really, when I saw that thing about Keanu Reeves when he said, I'm at that point in my life where I'm not ready to argue with anyone anymore. Mm-hmm. You think 2 + 2 is 5? Good for you. Have a great day. And my wife is becoming so annoyed with this. She will say something and I'll go, yep, good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she's wrong.
Yeah.
I know she's wrong, but I'm not going to argue with her. And sometimes you just got to ask, hey, do you think this is right? Versus just telling me what it is. If you come in here and go, you know what? There's 25 hours today. Yep, there is.
Sounds good.
You bet.
Have fun
a great
with that
day.
last hour.
Yep. I'm just into that point. I think that's what makes a man is just learning when it's just not worth the fight anymore.
I consider Derek a manly man in the sense that he does everything that I need him to do.
He does everything I say.
But he's also very in tune with that side, the sensitive side, and I love that. But he still makes me sleep closer to the door in case of an intruder. They get to me first.
Like kind of a kick dog.
Radio Paparazzi.
All right, so Katy Perry was asked, and this happens to a lot of women. You have your first baby, and then you have all the people, when you have another one, when's the second one coming? It's like, leave her alone.
I'm in Vegas, and like, I can't do that show with anything in my belly, especially a human.
Understandable. Go put on a heck of a show and have one if you want to. All right, having gone through a difficult divorce, she's got a lot of projects happening. Kelly Clarkson about to turn the big 4-0. Will it be a crazy shindig?
I am literally so low-key. I know it's my big 4-0, but I've had a crazy 2 years. So I just wanted a chill birthday, so I'm going hiking with my friends. And that's it, y'all. And doing like a dinner with like my band. And yeah, so that's it.
That sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. I don't ever want anyone to throw me a surprise party. Not that you were gonna, but surprise
When's your
parties
birthday?
are the worst. You're the worst. Harry Styles, he is the one that you don't want to live with if you're a clean freak.
I don't think I am. I'd say yes and no. I think I'm messy to a point, and then I'm like, oh, this is too much, and then I go for a big clean.
That makes me anxious right now just hearing that.
I had a friend in high school, and her room was it was such a pigsty. I remember, I don't have anxiety. Like, I don't live with that, thankfully. But I had a little taste of it when I'd go in her room and there were like clothing hanging from her chandelier, like that crazy messy. I'm like, how can you live like this? Blowing out their candles today, we have Star Trek's George Takei turning 85. He is. Shamar Moore is delicious. Follow him on Facebook. He's amazing. 52. And then Kristen Glover. I thought he was older than this, but he's George McFly on Back to the Future. 58 today.
Let's begin now. All bong sounds are not real. Good morning. Welcome into the KCLD Playhouse. Caddis, you got your 420 flannel on?
I feel like I am channeling my inner 90s girl. I have my
Pearl Jam concert.
I have my banana clip in. And then I have this flannel on, but I'm very comfortable. So
good.
Yeah, thanks.
Comfort is key.
Good.
Give me some good news. What did you do yesterday?
I had to bring Liam to baseball. We had like a baseball parent meeting.
Fun.
I cleaned.
Always love the parents.
We got our raffle tickets, so I just want to remind you of how many pizzas I bought from your kids. So you can shell out and give me $10. Grilled the rest of our pork chops up, which were delicious. I love pork chops, and that was the night. Kind of boring, but had to be done. So
got in a 5K yesterday, and then
I forgot. I got in a 5K yesterday.
I took our baseball team over to Malacca. We rolled those guys up 10-0.
Nice.
Pitched a one-hitter. My boys are dialed in, so I'm very, very excited for the season. It was fun to play and finally get a game in. So congrats to those guys. And then went home last night, made some rice, and my wife, her mom. So I've noticed there's a very weird dynamic going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I a couple years ago bought a cabin. And then what happens is it's not just the price of the cabin and lake property, but then everything that goes with it that mounts so quick. Pontoon, lifts, dock, jet ski. I mean, it was just like we were just hemorrhaging money. So we said, that's it. Let's just be done. Let's just enjoy it. So now my wife, what she does is she mentions the things she wants to her mother.
Yeah.
And then her mother will casually buy it and it'll appear at our doorstep. So yesterday we got one of those ice cube makers.
Oh, nice.
Like the countertop ice cube makers showed up as I was working out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is great. And I go, Trish, did you order one of these? Because I thought we weren't going to do this. She goes, no, I just mentioned it to my mom.
And she got it
and she
for her.
buys it for her.
Oh my God.
We've dug in and we've mined out a very specific cool thing with Grandma Lisa, and I'm very, very happy about it. So I plugged it in and just let it run, and it makes ice cubes. It's over 7 minutes. It makes ice cubes.
That's pretty like little tiny pebble ones.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're like
hospital ice.
They're bullets. They call them.
Okay. I've found that my mom, I haven't needed her in almost 2 decades to buy me anything, so she tries to buy me stuff all the time.
Got to drop that casual hint. So my wife now shares an Amazon shopping cart with her mother.
What?
And now Lisa, when she decides that it's time to buy something for the family or for the cabin or whatever, we'll just look in there and go, that's something. Okay, let's get that and have it delivered.
Work that pitch.
And then so Trish calls her. She's like, Mom, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Please quit doing that. I like to be able to do it so you guys can enjoy it. So we tapped into a very valuable resource there, and I wanted to share it. April 20th today. Kat's wearing her flannel and smells of Sandalwood and trail mix today. And I think this is probably going to happen sooner than later, if the state of Minnesota put it up for vote, you would vote to legalize marijuana or not?
I would, because it doesn't really affect me. If stuff doesn't affect me,
I think 10 years ago we
really
got more
mind.
no's than yes, and I bet you this year we get more yeses
and if we
than
have
no's.
all that money going with taxes and people are able, when they are not feeling well, to get a hold of weed and not have to have a medical card. And I've seen a lot of videos of people that have tremors and brain injuries and really like painful days, living with chronic pain. And they say just having some marijuana in their life makes them able to function. I'm like, why not?
There's so many arguments for both sides, right? People are going to say there's going to be more of a drug problem, and the other argument is, well, if you take it off the streets and there's not drug dealers, well, then you don't have that problem. You don't have all these people in jail and weighing down the system, and so you get both sides or whatever. It'd be interesting to see that when and if this comes up for vote again, what's going to happen. And I think I think it was a good idea for Minnesota to wait and let these other states give us some data as far as what happened when they legalized it, the good and the bad, and then you can say the good, you can amplify that, you can take a look at the bad and prepare for that.
Some people are like, oh, they're just going to spend all their money on weed now and not be able to pay their rent. People do that with cigarettes and alcohol.
Alcohol too, yeah.
So if your kids are going without, but you have a pack of cigarettes in your pocket, that drives me crazy. If your kids don't have lunch money, but you have Marlboros, like, you got to get your act together.
Creates a lot of jobs, too, if it's not state-run, as far as, like, if you can open your own dispensary. Well, you're going to hire 10 employees, right? And you're going to have I'm just kind of interested to see what your guys' thoughts are. If you're up early and thinking about it, you want to text in?
I have fallen for this before, but yeah.
I am going to read off some odd requests in dressing rooms or odd musical artist requests while they're on tour.
Okay.
And then you've got to try and figure out which artist made these silly, silly demands.
I'm pretty good at this because I do read riders. So are you going to give me multiple choice?
I'll give you the genre of music that this group or artist comes from. And then you've got to tell me who they are.
Got it.
And for every one you get wrong, we take away some of your trail mix.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Now we're playing for
on
keeps.
The line.
During their 2004 tour, so obviously it's a group, a rock group.
Okay.
They demanded that bacon be served with every meal because they were in a fight with PETA.
I'm going to have to say Foo Fighters.
Metallica.
Oh, okay.
They demanded that every meal for everybody on their crew be served with bacon because they were fighting with PETA.
I love bacon.
Which KCL, the artist, pop music, in 2011 at her London show, she requested McDonald's cheeseburgers without the buns. Also 100 figs and prunes, toothpaste, fish and chips, and a framed photo of Princess Diana.
I'm going to say Katy Perry. Taylor Swift. Britney Spears. All right.
Which hip-hop artist, back in 2009, Kat, requested 7 dressing rooms and high-quality peanut butter and jelly?
50 Cent. You got to at least give me
I told you it was a hip-hop artist
to choose from.
It was Jay-Z.
It could be anybody. All right.
This one's going to give it away. After her breakup with Justin Bieber, she demanded those on her team named Justin start going by different names.
No way.
Yep.
Was it Selena?
It was Selena Gomez.
No way. I feel like she's more down to earth than that.
If your name was Justin, and you were one of the rigging guys, you were like a roadie.
Yeah.
Your name was Justin. You had to start going by a different name because Selena Gomez was so heartbroken. All right. She, giant diva, has her dressing room set at 78 degrees and likes to have well-seasoned chicken. That's what's on her rider. 78 degrees and well-seasoned chicken for which diva?
Diva is Mariah.
Beyonce.
Oh, I feel like I've read that somewhere. All right.
Which KCLD male artist who used to be in a group but now is solo has to have the doorknob sanitized every 2 hours on the minute.
Is it Harry Styles? What?
Justin
the
Timberlake.
hell?
JT says you got to sanitize them every 2 hours at the top of the hour.
See, he seems like so down to earth too that he wouldn't make
Those are the ones that'll get you and skin you. This KCLD artist, who is probably like a junior diva, has to have plush animal print rugs to walk barefoot on.
Ariana?
Rihanna.
One more.
This KCLD diva prefers and you'll get this one because I've heard this before. I think we've even had this in your paparazzi. She prefers an all-white dressing room to keep her mind and spirit at ease. White candles, white couches, white tables, and white roses.
Was it Mariah?
No, J-Lo.
Oh, it is J-Lo.
I got one more because this one is the most interesting one to me. This all-time diva demands a separate dressing room just for her wigs.
Just for her wigs. Mariah doesn't wear a wig. Mary J. Blige.
We cannot
Whitney.
continue the show until you get it right. Whitney's dead.
Current diva? How old?
Worldwide, lifelong diva.
Oh my God. I went through all the divas.
Nope.
That's it.
Nope. It's going to be embarrassing when you say her name.
So I said Mariah. We already said Beyonce. Lady Gaga. I have no idea. Nikki.
Think of the all-time greatest divas.
I have named them all.
Since even the 60s?
Oh, Tina Turner. Dionne Warwick. Hit that button again, and I will hit you.
Get it right.
I don't know. Give me another hint. All time since the 60s? Diva. Give me another hint.
Fishnet.
Cher. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Cher. I know she listens.
Cher on tour demands a separate dressing room just for her wigs.
Wow. I was reading that 42% of people think that dead people can contact the living and interact with the living. And I felt a certain way at my sister's house this past weekend.
I see dead people.
Yeah. Like she was reenacting how things were happening in that video I showed you and where the shadow was. And then Clark was talking about where he was when he kind of saw something flash by in his peripheral. And I'm like, man, this place is haunted. And my brother's fiance, she felt really uneasy. She's like, I don't want to be here. He pretended to take the baby down to the basement. And she was freaking out, like legitimately freaking out. But you know, I love when we open the phone lines to those stories where maybe you have connected with the other side, somebody that has passed on. Maybe you were dreaming, but they reached out to you and it felt real. And then their message was like real. Truthful.
I'm a pretty spiritual guy. Here's what I don't believe. I don't believe people come back from the dead or from the afterlife or another plane to make things worse. All right? I don't think they're here to haunt you. Now, that part I don't get. I think that's just a misunderstanding of what's going on. Now, will I get some kind of influence from my father who's passed on? Yeah, I guess I believe in that. I believe that, like, maybe he'll nudge me in this direction when I think about something or pray about something.
But what do you feel when you smell random cigarette smoke? Nobody here smokes. And then we have John Edward on and he said, hey, do you ever like smell cigarettes?
Okay, so
how weird is that?
Here's the part then that I don't understand. And maybe you're not supposed to at this level of your existence. But, okay, so what?
But it's all about... It's all about like that, well, wow, there is more after this.
Okay, but and I believe that. I believe that before my parents passed away. I believe that a long time ago, and I still believe that. But if you come back and you get to somehow influence your child, right? Let's say you die in a horrible car accident next week, right? And poor Liam feels your presence. Shouldn't there be a purpose to that? Like, you don't want him just to go, oh, yeah, my mom died.
Yeah, maybe there is for these 42%.
So that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
if I feel my dad's presence, why wouldn't it be something? Why wouldn't it be like, dude, go to the gym sooner, or don't take this vacation. Like, why can't they guide you to something
Maybe there
like
have
that?
been those moments and you just didn't chalk it up to their influence. But I want to know, have you ever had a sign from the other side, something that actually like ended up panning out?
I see dead people.
42% of humans believe that we could be contacted from the other side.
So I'm not saying that you always see dead people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, have you ever had like a connection that turned out to be like a sign that you received that was legitimate from the other side?
Have you?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I am very in tune with that side.
Sounds like it.
I believe that when I have a feeling, there's some legitimacy to it, and it always pans out. I can't even tell you how many times. We don't have enough time.
When was the last time
when
you
I
had a
think
feeling?
about somebody and I see them, like literally an hour later, run into them.
It's called a coincidence.
Too many coincidences to happen, and then I just ignore it because I'm not going to do anything with it. You know, aside from what's in a name like that. You can't.
Besides exploiting my talent on a nationally syndicated radio
And that's
show
it.
for higher ratings.
That's it.
Other than that, I'm not going to do anything about it.
Right.
Brianna, who'd you see from the other side?
It was actually my grandpa.
Okay, and what was the message?
He died in 2000 from cancer.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Huge Johnny Cash fan. He's a huge Johnny Cash fan. He actually got to meet him back in the 60s at a gas station. He drove the oil tankers to drop off like gas and crap at gas stations.
Yeah.
And he actually got to meet Johnny Cash at a gas station. Huge Johnny Cash fan, and I inherited that. I have Johnny Cash on my Spotify app on one of my playlists.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I appreciate you listening to our station all the time. Thank you.
Thanks for plugging that too.
Yeah, no problem. And I was on my way to my friend's house, and I'm jamming out to some heavy metal music.
Sure.
Like the Five Finger Death
Us
Punch.
again.
I'm
Yeah, we appreciate
jamming
it.
out to music.
We're listening.
And my playlist completely switched over and started playing Johnny Cash.
That's freaky.
And it's like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah.
And it was the same song over and over. It happened 4 different times. No matter how many times I would switch playlists, it'd always go back to the same song.
So you believe your father infiltrated your iPhone and your Spotify, or your grandfather, and influenced your Spotify app to only play Johnny Cash?
Well, the odd thing was, I was on my way to my friend's house, and he has a heart monitor attached to his chest because he was over in Iraq and had some issues happen, and I was going over to check on him. I'm his home health aide.
Yeah.
And when I got to his house, he wasn't answering the door, but his dog did. He has a service dog that was overseas with him.
Okay.
They were part of the bomb squad over there. And his dog helped me open the door, and when I got there, the heart monitor was actually flashing, sort of like the red ring of death that you find on Xbox. It was flashing that his heart stopped.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, that's a sign. So I drove a little bit faster to his house that day because it's like, okay, something's not right.
Yeah. And
my friend's heart stopped.
And he died? Did he die?
So your grandfather
No, he didn't die.
influenced your Spotify playlist to get you to drive a little bit faster to save your friend?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I got there now. I got there
That's how
now.
I feel about it.
All right.
But you had that sense. You had that push, urge from beyond to be somewhere where you had to be.
Something wasn't right.
Yep.
Yeah, something wasn't right.
I believe it, girl.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for the holler. I appreciate it, Brianna. Have a great day. Thanks for saving his life, by the way.
You too. Have
Take
a good
care.
one.
Bye.
So there you go. You're welcome.
I had we've had a lot of the brushes with death kind of things and from beyond the grave stories on our show over the years, but I'd never heard that anyone's dead grandfather could influence their Spotify playlist.
Yep.
And
they can do just about anything.
And now that I know that, I'm looking for Grandpa Ray to jump aboard.
Yeah.
Because I've been looking for a better workout playlist than what I've been using right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try and channel my Grandpa Ray a little bit later on today. If you guys want to join, we're all gonna sit around. I'm gonna light some candles. Actually, you know what's even better and safer? We have some of those battery powered candles.
Yeah.
That they flicker a little bit. So I'm gonna sit in our gym floor, crisscross applesauce. Home, Grandpa Ray, Please.
You're just talking to talk now.
Yeah, you're right. MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, often revered as our finest learning establishment in the United States of America, has spent a considerable amount of time not on curing cancer, not on figuring out are there valuable resources on Venus. They have now spent tons of time and money figuring out the optimal way to twist open an Oreo. It's called Oreology, Kat. They've used 3D printed instruments called Oreometers.
Okay.
They hold the Oreos. Then they apply precise varying levels of pressure and torque to carefully open them up. And after an exhaustive process, the researchers have found, well, nothing. It's inconclusive.
Just eat the Oreo. There you go.
I can't bite into one. I got to twist the top off.
Oh.
Don't you ever twist the top off? Two of them eat the cookies and then make one big Oreo?
So much work. No, I dunk mine in milk and I count to 10 and then I put it in my mouth and I chew.
Well, I figured this was the perfect story for 420, since the snacking has already started early here in the studio. And if you watch my Facebook feed, or our Instagram
It's trail mix.
You'll find out what Kat was already munching on this morning. So I wanted to do this because the Oreometer is trending today from MIT on April 20th. If I were to give you one snack and one snack only at 4:20 this afternoon, it would be?
I would indulge in some white trash mac and cheese.
And that is, for those folks that aren't into white trash mac and cheese, is
cheddar-filled hot dogs that have been boiled in water and chopped up and then put in a bowl of blue box mac and cheese. And I can say white trash because I'm white. But it's so good.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go at 4:20 this afternoon. The king size, the 4 frozen Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Oh, damn.
So at 4:20 this afternoon, when you're hanging out with Derek Lee, if I could buy you any snack on the planet, what would yours be?
All right, so St. Cloud is looking at going completely carbon neutral by 2038. It was part of a big meeting held by Mayor Dave Kleist. Also, the revitalization of downtown, and voters want to improve bonding to make park improvements as well.
Hey, you know what you first do?
Parking!
Stop with the silly overnight, early morning, weekend parking fees.
This is crazy. It's gone too far. I understand you want to make money, but
I wonder why nobody wants to park in front of my business downtown. Because it costs $1 if I want to look around your business for a half hour and I don't have 4 quarters on me. Then I get a ticket. Now it's $10 or $15. Stop it. Just stop it.
I just think, take notes from like downtown Anoka, where you do not pay for parking at all. And the businesses are always packed. There are people shopping constantly. I feel bad for these businesses.
So hold on. We're living in a world right now that if I would like to purchase something, I can press 2 buttons on my phone.
Yeah.
Or I can drive downtown, plug a meter and everything like that. Like these people that have downtown businesses, I feel for them so bad. And I understand at one point you voted this in, but I don't think you know what you're doing. Stop.
I had to. Best cars for short people. This is one of the best songs ever made. Little noses. Anyway, the following 5 cars, if you're a short person, you're going to want to listen up. All right. Subaru Outback, Ram 1500, Kia Soul, Nissan Altima, or the Honda CR-V. They are
they're the best
built
cars
for short people.
Really?
Yeah. So head to the local lot and pick up your vehicle, short people. Sony put out a press release yesterday saying gamers should expect a PlayStation 6 shortage when the game console is released soon. No word on release date. Yep, shortage of chips, lack of chips, and they don't know when they will be in.
My wife has a friend who ordered a truck. It's going to be 10 months before she can get her brand new truck.
I know.
Because they can't produce these chips fast enough.
All right, so listen to this chaos that went down with college students. This is a flashback. It's a way back Wednesday where they had the University of Nebraska students show up so they can sit there and pummel stuffed Barneys. Do you remember this?
Yes, I hate Barney.
Why do I hate Barney? I don't. He's here to beat.
Let's beat somebody. With all the things in the world that they could be protesting to protest a purple dinosaur. I mean, Barney stands for a lot of good things.
Barney bashing isn't for little kids. You know, I think people have really forgotten how to laugh about the whole thing.
Can you imagine if you were a little kid back then, you walk in during that news story and your parents are watching it and these college students are going crazy on Barney?
Fine and everything. But how about the kid that goes, this is a college student that goes, well, you got to beat somebody.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't have to beat somebody.
Just like rage rooms. I don't know if I'll ever understand rage rooms because I don't have rage. Do you really feel like that much better after you smash a TV and throw glass on the ground? I don't know. But certainly not Barney.
When the stuff in here doesn't work, I do.
I know.
I feel better when I break it.
Apparently everyone has a friggin' problem. And they've brought their problems to the Playhouse. This is the People's Court. Yes, I said People's is so we don't get sued.
All right, so Molly contacted us and we said, let's hear what's going on with you. And it's never an easy road to travel when it has to do with your mother-in-law. So kind of break down what's going on.
So my mother-in-law is a little bit of a control freak.
Okay.
Very gracious, has agreed. She's offered to pay for a vacation for my husband and I, and she's coming with us. So, okay, we can't look a gift horse in the mouth, and it was like, oh well, be fun. We're going to go to tropical island, and it's going to be fun and sunbathing, just relaxing, and this and that. But what she's got, it's like she's planning a military thing. She's got all these plans and this whole itinerary, and every day she's I've got something else. And then we're going to go here, and then we're going to check out this craft area, and then we're going to go to this local boutique, and I'm like, I just want to put on sunscreen, get a pina colada, and lie in the sun, and it's just so. It's 6 months from now, and I'm already sick of her.
So you said it earlier, can't look a gift horse in the mouth. I get that. But you know what we did for our wedding? We didn't let anyone pay for anything because therefore they had control in some aspects. So that's probably what she's feeling like, hey, I'm going to book this trip and you guys are going to have fun doing things that I want to do.
Oh, exactly.
So it's 6 months away and she's already all about planning every single minute of this trip. So you want to know how to maybe calm her down a little bit or let her know?
I mean, what do I do? I mean, because I don't, because he's, I'm sorry, my husband is a little bit like, she's trying to be nice. She's and I'm just, you know what? Shut up, Skippy. I just can't, he's a little boy.
Okay. So let's just, everybody pump the brakes for half a second. Somebody's willing to pay for your entire trip.
Yeah.
Go to the antique store if they want to go to the antique store. Go see the remnants of Herbert H. Hoover's tomb if you want. I mean, do whatever. They paid for the whole thing.
No, I agree with you being grateful, but also what vacation means to some people doesn't mean the same to other people. Like, I wouldn't want to wake up and go on a hike. I want to go straight to my beach chair and I want to just park it.
But you giving up that right when you let somebody else pay for your vacation.
I mean, she didn't let her. She just was gifted this, I want to take you guys on vacation. Sure, that's awesome. But as the giftor, you should know, you shouldn't hang it over their head. Or why give a gift?
Hey,
what?
You ever bought your kid a toy so they'd clean their room or just shut up? It's the exact same thing. The exact same thing.
Not really.
Hey, how many times have you said
we were
in Target and I bought Liam a toy so he would shut up and I could get my shopping done? How many times have you admitted to that?
0 through 6 years old.
It's the exact same thing. I'm going to pay for your trip so you do what the hell I want to do.
No.
That's exactly what this is.
I think it is a bit different.
If you let her pay, you got to do exactly what she says.
Apparently everyone has a friggin' problem. And they've brought their problems to the Playhouse. This is the People's Court. Yes, I said People's is so we don't get sued.
All right, so Molly was on, and she explained what's going on with her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law is gifting her and her husband a trip, a vacation, but like it's in 6 months from now. And she says like the phone calls have already started almost daily. Let's go over our itinerary. I want to do this. Let's do this all day, blah, blah, blah. To me, I love to vacation where we can just relax.
I like to not have an agenda too.
I like just like whatever. That looks fun. Let's hop on a jet ski. Let's go pay for that. Let's go up to the spa. Let's do that. Some people like to be busy. They're like my brother-in-law just got back from a 10-day trip to Spain, and they were on a different tour every single day.
That's different, I think, than deciding you're going to lay on the beach in Mexico.
Exactly. So you really got to get on the same wavelength with whoever you're going with. But Stacy had texted, I would just say thank you so much for the offer, but we'll pay for ourselves. Then it still looks like you want a vacation with her, but then you have that leverage of having it be your own money.
Danielle said, you're no slave. Do what you want to do. If she'd like to go with you, she can. Otherwise, you're on your own.
Okay.
I don't know if that works, though. How do you say, thanks, mother-in-law, but we're going to do what we want to do and just leave? You can be in your room or you can tag along with us.
I think it could be a simple conversation.
Tammy, thoughts on this whole thing with the People's Court?
Honestly, if you're not going to do anything that you want to do on the vacation, why are you going?
I know. I think she should just at least let her know. I mean, some people make up a scenario in their mind like it's going to be way worse than it really is. You know, like, hey, can we take a whole day to just tan and not go sightseeing?
You have to, well, first you have to communicate and be like, you know, can we do something? This is kind of what I want to do. Can we maybe work this in? If she's paying for it, obviously you should do some of the stuff that she wants to do. But in the same respect, if you can't do anything that you would like to do on the vacation, it's not a vacation. You might as well just save your PTO and go to work.
You know, Tammy, somebody texted in, do you guys tell everybody what to do when you give away trips? And I kind of looked at it a different way. Like when we bring listeners to Mexico, we don't tell them what they got to do all the time. It's pretty much kind of, do what you want, and we buy those trips. So I'm starting to see it from a different angle.
Yep, you got to look at it from all angles. And if it is someone who's a control freak, it's probably just something that she normally does. This is just how she is, and she just needs to be, I'm sorry, I didn't think that you might want to do something different.
Exactly.
Let's compromise, find something that we can all do.
Love it. Thank you to everybody who texted in the right answer, but I can't air your text over the radio, and you have to call to win at 320-251-1047. The show is the Hunks Mail Review. By the way, if you're not going to get in to win tickets, tomorrow, 6:35, another pair, so you can join Kat May 14th at Grand Casino Mille Lacs. You must unscramble this very long word, and it's something you would find in the Hunks dressing room. Go ahead.
I-L-O. You got them all?
Got them all.
I-L-O.
Loy.
Damn it. No.
What is it? Call to win. It's 251-1047. Kimberly first through. What is it?
Oil.
Yes. I didn't want to make it too hard, but
that's what she said.
All right. I knew. I was just setting JJ up. All right. So congratulations. You're going to see The Hunks. It's going to be an incredible meal review show at Grand Casino Mille Lacs May 14th. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems to be on that level of like cerebral activity. So make sure that you dress appropriately. Okay.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.